G'day guys, it is time for game number 4 between Storm8 and Amazon. Currently Amazon are up 2-1. Well played there from our friend Metzelbats. And we are about to jump into a TVZ on Whirlwind. It's our new pronunciation of that map. And it is going to be the Rage Cage versus Terran.
Yes.
So Terran is someone that I remember casting because we were like, oh, he's a Terran and he plays Terran, how clever. And the Rage Cage we definitely haven't cast before, so this should be interesting.
Yeah, it should be pretty good.
Let's look at our players here. Once again, dashing. Really pleasant to see these two. Pleasant to see the photos of these two guys. The Rage Cage, there on the left there, playing for Amazon, has himself a 1-win, 0 loss. So 100% wins from him, but just the 1. And yeah, playing for Amazon here. He's been playing for quite a while, since the Wings of Liberty beta, so he's an old schooler. Been playing since 2010. And can he pull out another win for his team?
Perhaps. Well, his opponent, 2 wins, 4 losses, so he's been fielded a little bit more for Storm8. And he too has actually been playing StarCraft 2 for a while. He says he played it back in the day, and he's been playing since Wings of Liberty beta. So he definitely knows his stuff when it comes to StarCraft. He's been around forever in that sense. And yeah, he is the Terran that plays Terran.
The Terran that plays Terran. He sat long and hard when he was making his account, scratching that chin, I would imagine, for 30-something hours, thinking about that ID, and it finally happened, Terran. So the Rage Cage is actually going to be rolling random. So
oh, really?
It should be pretty interesting. Always nice to see a random player come in. A lot of people don't like to play against random players because they don't know how to open.
I know, I don't.
They tend to, I guess, I don't want to rush to say it, but they tend to be a little bit cheesy because they have to learn 3 races and they have to learn 3 races fast. So the easiest way to do that is to just get something that kills your opponent within 10 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, 3 times 3 for 9 different matchups. No one wants to learn that many matchups, let's be honest.
Does anyone have enough room in their brain to be good at 3 races?
I don't think so.
Probably not. But the Rage Cage could surprise us. I am open. I've got an open mind. I am ready to be enlightened. Let's get into this game, guys. Game number 4. Let's do it. All right. In the top left here, we have got Storm8's Terran, the Terran.
And his opponent from Amazon, it is the Rage Cage.
The Rage Cage. We were thinking if it was Rage Cage or Rage Kage. Well, actually, I was thinking it. Not
it makes sense.
So we're assuming it's Rage Cage because it rhymes with Rage.
Indeed. That's a pretty, like, what's the word? Intimidating name. Rage Cage.
Terran looking to rattle that cage, which I would guess
sure
make more rage. And we're just going to leave it there. So the Rage Cage has rolled Zerg for this matchup. He did have random in his profile there, so what will he be able to do now? Largely discussed to be the weaker race right now in the metagame of Heart of the Swarm. I'm not sure if I agree or disagree with that statement. I think that all the races are kind of okay where they are right now, but the Rage Cage rolling random, does he have much experience with this race is the question that we have to ask ourselves.
Yeah, that's always the big question. Oftentimes random players, when they want to relax a little bit, they'll play the race they're best at, and that may very well be Zerg for Rage Cage. We don't know, of course, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see how this actually plays out for him and how well he goes with the Zergy race. Now,
as we can see, Rage Cage has not 10 pulled, which is something that's happened to me last time I played a random Zerg.
Yes.
So that's refreshing. Rage Cage did in fact go for a more standard Terran versus Terran opener for the 15 hatch there. So
indeed, and it's a bit risky to kind of cheese on this map anyway because it's so big. We don't know where anyone spawns. So
it's a coin flippy thing that people used to do on Tal'Darim Altar. Yeah. You cast your mind back to that horrible dark age of the 6 pull on Tal'Darim Altar where you coin flip and A move to a corner, and if it's the right corner, you win.
Yeah, the good old days.
The good old days. Never change, StarCraft. Stay classy.
Never change. Yes.
Pull and gas down for Rage Cage.
Yep, he's probably going to want that speed pretty early, as most Zergs do in case of the Reaper opening. We do have 1 Rax out for Terran, but he's going to make a Marine first. Whether he goes into a Reaper after this, I don't know. He'll have the gas for it, that's for sure. But no, it is indeed going to be another Marine.
Alright, so that's pretty interesting. I mean, a Reaper at this stage is pretty much not going to do any damage to the Zerg.
True.
But it is very good at scouting. But mind you, the SCV kind of does the job right now. The pool is out right now. And all he needs to know is what the Zerg's doing around the 15, 16 food mark. And he can get a bit of an idea of what his options are.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the thing we were saying about the cheese earlier works the same for the Reaper. I mean, it'll take so long for it to get across the map to the Zerg base that it probably wouldn't be worth it at this stage anyway. But something really interesting is going on in the Zerg base. We have a super early Evo chamber, and the Rage Cage has not pulled off gas, and he hasn't gotten a speed yet either. +1. Wow, isn't that interesting?
That is interesting. I would have thought perhaps +1 ranged and then a Roach Warren for maybe a bit of Roach aggression now that he knows where the Rage Cage, where his opponent, the Terran, is. This drone has just scouted him, so they know that they are across the map. Oh, that drone got into the main and saw a couple extra barracks there. Didn't quite see the factory, I don't think.
Well, that's great information nonetheless, because he knows now it's not going to be Mag, he's not going to be facing Hellions, so he can pretty much figure out, okay, something's upgrading on the tech lab, it's either stim or combat shields, and you're going bio, so I know what to do with that, and the +1 melee is actually going to be great for that.
It is, and he's going to make 6 lings and get metabolic boosts, so this is actually going to make his units a little bit stronger if he wanted to go for a Baneling bust, and that's actually definitely an option for him still at this stage of the game.
Yeah, definitely. If he grabbed a second gas especially, he could go for a super big one.
He's taking a guy out of gas though.
Yeah.
So maybe not.
I think he's maybe just going to chill, especially since Terran is still in his base. It's always easier to kind of bust into a natural than it is up a ramp like that.
Yeah, because you don't want to, have a skinny little hallway here, especially now Terrans have siege tanks that just get made with siege mode, so that makes it very hard to do the Bane bust these days. And of course, you got to be afraid of Widow Mines, always with the Widow Mines. They, that said though, the Rage Cage dropping a Baneling nest. This could be for defensive purposes. I'm not convinced he'll still want to go for a bust here. I mean, it is still an option. The tech lab's in a really good spot here for him to bust through as well. So, getting a tech lab and a supply depot if he wants to bust that.
Yeah, definitely still an option. And he's making so many lings right now. He's wanting to make something happen, or he's expecting some sort of timing. So,
sees the Widow Mine.
Yeah. And that's actually really good for him, because now he knows that it's there and he can bait it out if he does indeed actually want to go for an attack. But he's making spore crawlers now, so it seems like he's just playing really defensive because he's not entirely sure exactly what's going on. So he's just kind of preparing for any situation.
He's taking his time. You can see by the mineral bank here that he's not too sure if he wants to go for units or the third hatchery. So he's he's going to go for the third hatch. So he's deciding to play macro here. I actually support this decision. I think he's just fine here. Doesn't need to go for the kill against Terran.
Very good.
He's still keeping up to pace.
Still an interesting decision to take that third, however, because he hasn't scouted a natural just yet. And usually, as a rule of thumb, if you haven't seen your opponent take a natural, you probably shouldn't take a third. That said, though, he can take that. Yeah, he can take it, and he doesn't have to drone it. He can just have it, so that he holds off the push from Terran, and then he has a nice third base that he can drone on.
And you know what? He's not going to drone it. He just made 26 lings there, and they all have +1.
Yeah.
And they can be turned into Banelings. So it looks like he might actually go for a very, 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 very late bust on one base. Against one base.
He may. I suppose we'll have to wait to see if he actually goes across the map for that. Otherwise, he's actually very well prepared for a one base all-in at this stage. He can make all those into Banelings. And if Terran comes across the map with a bunch of units, he'll just be like, LOL, A move.
Exactly. That's exactly what he would do, Zepph. So now this drop is on the way, and the Overlord missed it just slightly. So he will go through largely undetected, and will he go straight for the main? Will he go for the third? He has many, many options. The Rage Cage kind of in position to be able to defend, though.
He is. He's not very far away at all, and there's creep spread. He's going to go straight for the main. However, these medevacs are boosting in, so they won't be able to boost away very quickly for a little while. While that cooldown comes down, he's going for the Overlord, but all the Lings come in and meet the units.
The Widow Mine has burrowed here. He's going to be careful. The Widow Mine just out of range. Shoots the Overlord instead and dropping it into the mineral line now. But the Spore Crawler actually doing a little bit of chip damage to that medevac. And he's just trying to bait units into that Widow Mine. But the Rage Cage ain't having none of that. It's going to make an Overseer straight away. This Widow Mine moving into range of nothing.
closer to the drones at least, so he can edge it forward again. I think he was just hoping that it wouldn't die to the units, and he's running Rage Cage around really, really well right now. This is how awesome Medevacs and Widow Mines are.
Yeah. Oh god, that's so nice. Dropping those units right near the Widow Mine. That is just the one Widow Mine though, and it's gone now. So it will be a little bit easier for Rage Cage to deal with this. And now that he's made an extra round of Zerglings, he can finally split his units up to deal with this drop. And meanwhile defend in the main as well. So Rage Cage won't be pulling those units out of the third anymore.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So he goes for the natural.
So
oh my goodness.
What a jerk.
That's really awesome though. Can the Queen get the medevac? Not quite.
Oh, it's close. I think the Queen in the main could definitely pick it off now though.
Yeah, definitely. And he's going to go for it too.
Oh my god. Medevac boost.
No,
Medevac boost. It should be on a demotivational poster. This said though, Terran took a second base, but where are the SCVs, Zepph? He's saturated in the main a little bit.
Yeah, he's way oversaturated in the main. In fact, he could take half of those, split them down to the natural, but both players have been so concentrated on...
There's a lot of micro happening.
Yeah, exactly. So that's forgiven to skip a few drones and SCVs. That's fine. But the third base is up for Rage Cage, like we pointed out before. And now that he's held off the aggression, he can go ahead and drone that up, head towards his lair tech, and it is a choice of mutas.
Once again, no drones, mutas and units instead. Queen on the way. Getting +2 upgrades and also centrifugal hooks for Dat Bane speed. +1 armor on the way for the Terran units. Terran's, pulling back into his main here. I would actually like to see his army probably in the natural at this point. I think but he's actually in a good position against mutas, so I guess he's just fine. He's probably at a turret ring, so he's doing a really good job here. I guess he must have seen the spiral when he was dropping, because he is definitely preparing for mutas here.
Yeah, he's very, very well prepared. He's got the energy bays down. He's heading towards his 1-1 upgrades. +2 is ready to go if he wants to drop a second chamber as well. Evo chamber, engineering bay. And Widow Mines in the natural mineral line. I love that. If the mutas go over there, they're going to die very, very quickly. That's
right. So now Rage Cage trying to get a little bit of saturation here. Made 30 lings.
Yeah,
Hellbat's on the way for Terran. Haven't seen a Hellbat in a while.
Yeah, that's true. They were a big thing until they changed the requirements for building them. You need the armory, right?
The armory, and then you can build Hellbats right off the bat, but if you want the Hellions to change, you have to research the upgrade.
Yeah,
on the tech lab. So it's a little bit harder to get to in the tech tree now. And Terran a little bit supply blocked here.
He's actually dropped supply twice already. 3 times, excuse me, 4 times. He's dropping supply all the time. So I guess part of the reason was that he was on one base for so long.
He doesn't want to keep dropping mules in one base. So he's doing what he can with the energy that he's got. At least he's spending it. So Terran moved across the map here, forced a few units out, and then just moved back. It's a nice trick that a lot of players like to do. And he's gonna try. I guess. He's a little bit low on minerals at the moment. The natural is looking pretty good right now. But Rage Cage still with a nice healthy lead of 65 drones to 47 SCVs.
Yeah,
and taking a 4th base as well. And I like this 4th base location a lot better than where he took his 3rd.
He's also got a pretty nice army, and he comes to the watchtower to see where that Terran army is, and he'll just clip the vision of it and see that that is indeed there. And he will be able to set up for defense. And I actually forgot that this guy is a random player. It's not a zone player. He's doing so well in this match so far.
He is indeed, and looks like he wants to catch these units on the side here. The Banelings behind they want to connect with the Marines so bad, but they're actually connecting with a lot of the Marauders. There they go! Oh my god.
And only Hellbats and Marauders left on the ground. The mutas will happily clean those up.
Yeah. Marauders don't get the lie down, shoot up, upgrade until Legacy of the Void, so... They do unfortunately get muted to death. The medevacs escape though, if that's one win for Terran.
That's super important, but on the flip side, we have an Ultra Den coming up, and that's going to be pretty devastating for Terran. He doesn't have really anything on the ground right now. He does have Marauders available to him though, so that's a really, really important thing when you're dealing with Ultras.
And you know what? For a random player playing Zerg, Rage Cage is so impressive, he even remembered Adrenal.
Yeah, he's doing really... I don't even remember Adrenal.
Exactly.
It's my main race.
People that play Zerg all the time don't remember Adrenal, and the Rage Cage is like, you know what? I'm a solid guy. I'm just going to do this right now. I'm in Tier 3 town, and I'm going to do everything right. Ultra's on the way. They're going to have 3-3. Actually, they're going to have 3-5 pretty shortly because the chitinous plating is on the way. And look at this spread of Overlord, Zepph. They are dropping creep everywhere. The Rage Cage is taking map control away from Terran.
He's going to take his third base now. But it's going to be a little bit more delayed once again because of that creep. And yeah, he's in a tough spot because, I mean, he lost his main army after all that harass in the early game that went really, really well. I mean, this army is a lot smaller than it could have been had he had more left over, but you know, that's not even his fault because he controlled it really well in that engagement. He actually put the Marauders in front to soak most of the Banes.
And they did. The Banelings mainly hit the Marauders there, but he did have enough to clean up the Marines in the end, so a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, he just...
the middle map here.
Game of
force. Rage Cage would not be too scared of engaging this army, I dare say. Ooh, scan going down, does see the Ultras.
Love the Hellbats in that army. They're going to fire some lings, but will it be enough to take out this army? Great dodging so far, but the Mutas are chasing down the rest of the Marines, and oh my gosh, he might actually be able to take out an Ultra. Can he do it? Oh, not quite.
One Ultra with 45 hit points nearly goes down. Now the medevacs are in a bit of spot of bother. He needs to boost and get out of there. He needs to save every unit because there is a very large threat of a Zerg counterattack on this third, which he desperately needs, Zepph.
Oh no, this is actually really bad for him. It is a planetary that might buy him some time, but there's no SCVs to even repair. Maynard, I think our Terran play might be going down very shortly here.
I think he's going to lose this base for sure, Zepph. I'm starting to see the game slip away from our friend Terran here. The Rage Cage is definitely in charge of this cage match. He's got himself an Overlord on every expansion. He knows exactly that how many bases Terran is on. You cannot sneak your base past this guy.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, Rage Cage is maxed out. Terran at 122 supply. Considering he's actually been confined to 2 bases this whole time, he's actually kept up pretty well in terms of supply. But now that we're at the stage with the Zerg where he just remaxes whenever he loses a few units, it's going to get super tough.
And a drop from Terran, trying to go across the map here, finding Overlords and creep everywhere, and the Rage Cage already in position to deal with this.
Oh, I don't think the Doom Drop's going to work out. The boost has already been used too. Where are the Mutas? Are there any left?
Just
a few.
Let's just have a look. 8 Mutas left on the field with a few more on the way. There they go, boosting out. I think this drop is ill-fated, Zepph.
Oh, one goes
Oh my
down,
god, did they even drop anything? I think they split off and dropped here. They did actually deny a hatchery here.
Oh, wow, he actually did get some of it. I didn't notice those split off.
But
and the Rage Cage didn't need.
Even losing that hatchery, he's got hatcheries to spare, Zepph. 4 hatcheries to 2 bases, and Terran has lost his main worth of income. He still has gases, but doesn't need gas right now, desperately needs minerals.
Yeah, but he's going to try and take a 3rd base once again using his main CC, but Zerg army is coming through. The drops have been great, but they've been thwarted at every turn. This may be the last stand. He needs those Widow Mines to burrow now.
And Widow Mines, this is a ton of Widow Mines, so they could actually damage the Ultras quite severely, but the Ultras can take so many hits with +5 armor. Oh, soaking up the shots with the Changelings.
Very nice. He needs some micro back. Can he make this count?
Oh!
So much
Widow Mine carnage, but so many Ultras are still left.
And he picks up and gets out, but he doesn't have much of an army left. 117 supplies. Somehow he's still in the hundreds. I don't know how he's doing it, but he still has so many Ultras and a fair chunk of Banelings to deal with.
Still maxed here, redoing his supply with 14 Mutas and a bunch of Zerglings as well.
Reburring his Widow Mines in a better position. I really like that from Terran. Spreading them out even, that's going to be really nice to make sure if he micros backwards, he's going to maximize damage.
He needs to drop all the mules right now. This command center is going down, and the bank of Terran just needs... This production of Terran needs to be at triple what it is right now to deal with what Rage Cage has got ready for him.
Yeah, it's such a tough spot though. He needs a miracle. And here we go, the Zerg army is going to come right into the natural. There's 4 Marauders here to face against it.
Oh my god!
Oh, wow.
Here comes the swarm.
so much damage. Everything is just getting shredded by this Ultralisk, and it looks like Terran is going to be forced to tap out.
Good, very good. Terran taps out. Well played, the Rage Cage, getting his team one game away from grand final placement, Zepph.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty close. Amazon looking really good tonight.
Really strong, and it is no small feat taking out Storm8, the team that just took out Epic. I mean, my goodness.
I think that Amazon, if they can do this well against Storm8, they are definitely contenders for the crown of AHGL Season 3.
That's for sure. That was really scary, and what a sick random player we just saw. Oh, man.
That was actually the best random Zerg that I ever remember seeing, so well played to Rage Cage. Commiserations to the Terran. But you played very solidly, my friend. That was a very hard opponent to deal with. So,
indeed. Great use of Medivacs too. I actually really liked how persistent he was with those, but the defense was too great for the Zerg. So our score is now what, Maynard?
3-1 to the advantage of Amazon, which would mean that they are one game away, like I said, from Grand Finals placement. Or can Storm8 come back? We'll have to wait and see. This is the team that took out the first seed, as we keep saying over and over again. So please, guys, put your hands together for Storm8, because they may be done with. We'll just have to wait and see, guys. We'll tune in to game number 5 pretty shortly.